One of the things that I found to be wildly interesting about this Colorado team is just how many people wanted to tell me that I was wrong about how I felt about Colorado, because I don't know if you remember this, but I've been right about Colorado since the moment that Dion took over Colorado. I was way out in front when people were undervaluing what that program was going to be capable of in 2023. And I was way out in front when people were overvaluing what that program is going to be capable of in 2024. Okay? It ain't about whether or not I like or don't like Colorado. It's not anything to do with it. It's about being right about Colorado when it's right to be right about Colorado, which is right now. Let's start with this. Everybody told me, and my phone was blowing up from folks at Colorado, by the way, that the defense was going to be better, that they had upgraded at multiple positions, that they hadn't done what I said they had done, which is just trade out the same guys for the same caliber of guy. They did not get better. RJ, the offensive line is totally overhauled. Is it? Is it? Because it didn't look that way against North Dakota State, and it damn sure didn't look that way against Nebraska tonight. First 5 series of the game, I watched Shedeur Sanders get down on his back because they sacked him 5 times in the first 5 series of the game. And what did I say that Nebraska needed to do to beat Colorado? Do you remember? Of course you remember. Hold on to the football. Don't throw the football to the other team. All that had to do with was Jeff Sims last year. If not for Jeff Sims, would Nebraska have been in that game last year? Absolutely they would have. You know what changed this year? Dylan Raiola could be trusted with the football. Full stop. That's it. It's not that Dylan Raiola is leagues ahead of Jeff Sims, though he seems to be. It isn't even that they upgraded at wide receiver, which they did with Isaiah Nair, and they got a dude in Barney who can absolutely roll. It ain't even that they can run the football, and they can like Swiss cheese, running through that defense like Swiss cheese, like a hot knife through butter. It's that Nebraska just did not give the football to Colorado. I'm looking at this, and it says 0 turnovers for Nebraska. You know how many it says for Colorado? 2, including a pick 6 from a man that I think will still get drafted in the first round, though it would be the bottom of the first round, is Shedeur Sanders, but also a man that people wanted to tell me I was wrong for how I thought about him at the NFL level. I think if you give him time, he can be great, but he had time when he threw that pick 6 to Tommy Hill. He just stared him down, threw it straight at him. Uncharacteristic mistake, but a mistake he still made. I'm talking about a Colorado program that gave up 6 sacks to Nebraska tonight. In addition to committing 9 penalties for 104 yards in the second half, it was almost like Nebraska just stopped playing because they had a bunch of penalties, had a bunch of stuff called back, 12 penalties for 105 yards, and they still beat Colorado like they stole something in Lincoln. Held Colorado to 4 of 14 on third down. People wanted to tell me over and over, hey, Robert Livingston is a better defensive coordinator than Charles Kelly. He might well be, but it didn't look that way tonight. Looked that way tonight like he kept trying to guess on what Dylan Raiola could put up with and not put up with, and it was little to nothing. Coach Prime talking about before the game, we're going to make it tough on him. We're going to make it hard for him to operate. Didn't look like it was hard for that man to operate at all. 23 of 30 for 185 and 1 TD. All he needed to do was run the offense. And because he ran the offense and Tony White's defense, that 3-3-5 that people were trying to malign, was keeping Colorado in check, you ain't got to do much else. And if you're a Nebraska fan, this is everything you asked for, baby. This is everything you asked for. I ranked you in the top 25 this week, and I was asked why. I saw what I need to see from them against UTEP. That's why. It's a good football team. They will not face a great football team until they get Ohio State, and that's 7 weeks into the season. They still got time to build. And as Matt Rule put it, look, we're playing together, and we're going to play better teams than the one we saw today. Shade. And I want Shiloh and Shedeur to be okay, but we're on to bigger and better things. Shade. I don't care that Matt Rule was trying to be magnanimous, even if it didn't sound all the way magnanimous. He could be pardoned for turning a knife on that one. I cared that Colorado could only score 10 points. 10 points. Couldn't trust the kicker. Alejandro Mata, the kind of dude getting dapped up by Coach Prime after making field goals last week. He couldn't even be trusted to make the 50-yarder. They sent Jay Feely in there to make a fool of himself. Kicking that thing far. No. Excuse me, Jay Feely's son. I'm looking at Dallin Hayden, and they still can't run the football. I had Colorado fans all up in the comments talking about, RJ, what you talking about? They can't run the football. You can't run the football. What are you looking at? What are we all looking at? Dallin Hayden had 5 carries, 32 yards. Get out of here, man. Shedeur threw the ball 38 times before being knocked out of the game. Completed 23 for 244. A man that went for 445 just last week. Okay? Well, Nebraska is an FBS team. You damn right it's an FBS team. They got more scholarship players than North Dakota State by rule. They also need to win football games in a way that Colorado does not. Colorado doesn't need to win football games to play on national television. We know this because they went 4-8 last year, and yet NBC made this their night game and put Colt McCoy's first game here, wanting people to think of Colt McCoy in some way the way that folks are thinking about Tom Brady at Fox. It ain't work. It ain't work. And all you could hear from Colt McCoy was, my goodness, Dylan Raiola is making all the mature decisions. He's getting rid of the football when he has to. He's not forcing the football where it doesn't need to go. He is really swift, but also controlled with what he wants to do with the ball. The offense looks like it's fine. Okay, Marcus Satterfield has put this thing in a true freshman's hand, and that true freshman went up against Prime, Shedeur, and Shiloh, and came out the winner. The Raiolas are reminding you that they are a football family and that his daddy's jersey is up there on the wall as a center. That his daddy, meanwhile, you got Coach Prime, who has charged Phil Lodeholt to the heart with Phil Lodeholt. This ain't squad for you, dog. This offensive line is not great. He put Phil Lodeholt in charge of protecting his child. That's the long and the short of it. The child is also his quarterback, okay? Dylan Raiola got his uncle in charge of protecting him. Who do you think did a better job? The guy that gave up 6 sacks, or his unit gave up 6 sacks, or the guy whose unit gave up 0? Okay? And I'm telling you, man, it's much easier to play football when you can run the damn ball. And that's what Nebraska was committed to doing. Ran the ball 35 times for 149 yards. 17 for 74 and 2 TDs for Dante Dowdle. That's going to get it done. That's going to get it done every time. All you got to do is score when you have the ball and stop them from scoring. It's a simple game sometimes. It really is. It's a simple game sometimes. Now that we have seen on national television once again what Colorado is and what they are not, they are 1-1, okay? Which means that they have lost. Follow me here. Follow me here. They have lost 10. Okay? Excuse me. Math. They have lost 9. They have won 5. Now, Colorado State, jump ball on that one, dog. I expect Colorado to show me the what for and how now on that. But Fowler Nicolosi and Torrey Horton, those are some 2 dudes. Those are some dogs. I just don't know if you can trust them to hold on to the ball like you can trust Nebraska to hold on to the ball. I'm also looking at this and I'm going, all right, what was the difference between what Dylan Raiola was asked to do and what Shedeur was asked to do? More. Shedeur was asked to do more than Dylan Raiola was asked to do. And anytime you got to put the ball on 2 shoulders, it ain't always been great. If it's a close ball game and the defense seems to be holding up, you got a shot. But this was not a team that felt like the defense was going to hold up. And for the first time in a long time, I watched Travis Hunter be frustrated on the sideline. He hadn't been this frustrated since they they lost after being up 28-0 against Stanford last year. Now you have to figure this out. Now you have to ask, what else can you change at Colorado for it to get better? What else would you need to do at Colorado to not lose to Nebraska? What will you need to do at Colorado to not lose to Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Utah, all on your schedule? You get all of them. The Big 12 is not an easy win this year. Iowa State showed Iowa that today. Kansas State came back against Tulane today. When I said that Colorado was picked 12th out of 16 teams, 11th out of 16 teams, I got so much pushback from y'all, dog. Now what? You going to try to tell me that it's one game, or is it one game where you got embarrassed? Something's got to change, because you can only ride the wave of being entertaining and fun for so long before people expect you to start winning. that honeymoon period is coming to an end quick, fast, and in a hurry. Especially when there are things that are getting done that are just outside of conventional wisdom. Conventionally, what we do, like banning reporters from asking questions, which I don't think is a bad policy in and of itself, but publicizing it the way they did, don't know if I would have done with that. Or calling out CBS for whatever reason. These are things that are left unsaid. You don't need to say this part out loud. If you need to talk about what is ailing you out in public, that's not a good look for you. There's no good that comes to that. People don't like being embarrassed in the way that Prime was embarrassing them, where it feels like you are asking a question is antagonizing Prime. You can't ask a good faith question. And at that point, you're just going to let that dude do his thing, and then you're going to quote him, which is, I think, what he wants. So one way or another, something got to change in Colorado, and I don't see Prime changing. The thing that I think folks need to separate, though, is that Colorado is Colorado. Dion Sanders is Dion Sanders. They are not the same. You cannot treat them the same. One man changed the balance of power in the NFL as a cornerback by going from the Niners to the Cowboys. One man played in the World Series and the Super Bowl. One man won the Thorpe Award as a walk-on at Florida State. Colorado ain't done a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Ain't done a damn thing. Okay? Your claim to fame is beating a Texas Christian team that was ranked number 17 on the road. After that, what has Colorado done? I can point to the number of students that are enrolled at Colorado going up, the number of prospective students that want to go to Colorado going up. I can point to the merchandise sales. I can point to the economic impact. But you know what is going to wane? Those things if you don't start winning ball games. At the end of the day, results matter. And getting beat by 18 by a Nebraska team that's in a plucky season is not a result that you can use to go win football games with. Build your offensive line, build your defensive line, recruit to your program, and then let's see about you.